Hello, welcome to my channel. This is going to be my first monthly TBR. I don't know if you are, but I am stressing a lot because the end of the year is coming close and I set up a goal on Goodreads that was low. I reached it and then I changed it and I got in a reading slump and I am so behind now that I am stressing out quite a bit. So normally I've discovered that reading 8 books a month is already a challenge for me, but it's a number that is achievable. So that's normally what I set up myself in my TBR. I just read 8 books, but that's not gonna cut it. So I actually have to read more than what I'm setting myself up to, but I just can't do more. But I'm gonna do 10 books a month. So we're just gonna try 10 books. But also, I don't know if you are stressing, but there are several categories that I wanted to read, or several challenges that I set myself at the beginning of the year, and I just tried to pick some here and there from those categories, and I just haven't done that. So now I have this whole list that I need to get down to. So what I've done is just cut it to only 10 books, and I'm going to do themed TBRs with 10 books from that category and just deal with it and just read all of them in 1 month instead of just trying to read one here and one there through the year, because I don't have any more time. And as you read from the title, this month is going to be reading the best books of the year. I really want to participate in the Goodreads Choice Awards. I know that it's not a very good award because it's mostly a popularity contest, but even then it would be nice to be able to read through the books and actually know some of them and be able to maybe even compare 2 of them in one category and be able to actually know, okay, I read that one, I like it or not, and then I can vote or not vote. So that would be really cool. So I've just gone to Goodreads and I found the list of the most popular books read this year, and I picked up the 10 top, not the 10 top, I think the 5 top for sure, and then I've just chosen which ones I wanted, because there were some that I wasn't interested in, wasn't gonna like, and some that I was very interested in. So I just kind of picked and chose through the list. But it's imperative that I do this reading challenge this month in October, because nominations start in November and then, you know, the voting commences and all of that. So the first book that I'm going to be reading, so the first book on my TBR is Surprise Booktube, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, the author of the famous, that I still haven't read, The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hugo. Then also one that is not in my favorite genre, but this one has very good reviews and is very popular, and I actually do really like the premise, so I think it can be interesting, and that is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. And it's a thriller, a psychological thriller, I think, about a patient that never speaks but things keep happening and he's in a psychological ward or something like that. I actually rarely read the synopsis of the books because I am just so averse to spoilers that I feel sometimes a summary can spoil you a little bit. I'm just a bit paranoid. Then I'm going to be reading as well one that everyone read this February or March, which is The Prairie of the Orange Tree. And yes, I don't know how I'm going to read 10 books, and one of them being this book that is 800 pages. But it's a standalone fantasy, which is really interesting, and I think there is romance and dragons, so that sounds really cool. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmerer, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so I don't need to know anything else. This is my favorite Disney movie, and I really like the story, and I've already read other retellings, and I just really enjoy it, so hope it's gonna be cool. Next up is The Bright Test by Helen Hogue. I have already read The Kiss Quotient. This is part 2, except that I already started it thinking that it was a continuation. It's not, it's just a different story in the same universe with similar characters that appear, the same characters, not the same characters, with characters that appear in The Kiss Quotient, but it's not about the protagonist. Next up is The Kiss Thief by L.J. Shen. This one, I actually don't know what it is about, but I really like the cover, it looks beautiful. It's also very high up on the list, so I'm reading it, I don't need to know more. Next up is The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvey's Graves. This one is a romance about a girl that is very socially awkward, and I just can't wait to wholeheartedly relate to that to this book, and I think it's gonna be cool. Then I'm going to be also reading Where the Forest Meets the Stars by Glendy Vandera. And this one, from what I read from the synopsis, I think it's gonna be extremely emotional and about learning to love again. I like deep emotional books like that. Second to last is nice easygoing romance, and it's The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. And I think this one is just lighthearted fun. I think it has the hate to love trope, which I love, which I find fantastic. I think it has the risk of being a bit too cliche and predictable like most of these books are, but still it has pretty good reviews, so I'm excited for it. And lastly, one that I actually picked up on a whim because I didn't really know what it was about, but it's a fantasy, and it's the first book of a trilogy that was released this year, and it already had very good reviews and was quite popular. And I feel that since I'm slightly new to booktube, I wasn't on the loop of everything that was famous and current, so I have so much catching up to do. I mean, literally one of the months is going to be catching up on booktube. Not months, that should be a year, just catching up on all the series that everyone has already read. I have to do something like that because I still haven't even finished I haven't finished anything by Sarah J Maas or A Stranger Dreamer, or all these basics that everyone is just like, oh, I have to read this, which I'm sure they're right, but I still have to catch up so much of it. So at the same time, I was excited to just start with the first book at the same time as everyone else in one of at least for one trilogy or series. And this one is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, and it's set in Moscow, and it's about a girl that has to flee because she has magical gifts, and I don't want to read more because I don't want to know anything else. So there you have it. Those are the 10 books that I chose from the best of 2019. I will be doing I think a monthly reading vlog, kind of just following the updates of the books that I'm reading and telling you guys how I'm finding them, and basically also so you can see how I don't know how, but somehow managed to read an 800-page book and 9 others. I don't know. Please wish me luck. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.